Hey, this is my writing update. My name is Tanya and this is my writing realm, where we talk about things related to writing, self-publishing, author business, and author to video creation. You might be looking at this wondering, where the hell is she? Alright, so I'm in my storage room. It's a spare room in our basement that is filled with, well, everything. This will be the future home of my very own and my very first writing office. Now I do have a desk that I write at, and I also have like a lap desk and a surface that I kind of go around the house wherever the heck I choose and write. However, I need my own space. I need somewhere that I can kind of hide out and live in my own mind without distraction from family members. Love yous, but I need a little bit of peace and quiet to do my writing. So my husband says to me, hey, why don't we make this your office? And I thought, hey, that's kind of a good idea. I'd rather be upstairs where I can have, some light in the window and I can look outside for, inspiration. But this is what is going to work for us. So I don't know how long it's going to take. It might take a few months. It might take a couple years. There's stuff in here that we have been storing for other family members, like furniture, like a wall unit, a TV. It's also got all of our old, tube monitors and stuff. It also has shelves of board games. We have tons of board games because we are gamers, video gamers, board gamers. I also have some old, parenting stuff, some kids stuff, maternity stuff. I've given a lot away because my sister is expecting, and I've also donated a lot to charity. I feel like it's my way to give back to other people who need something, especially right now with the pandemic. So many people have lost their income or reduced their income, lost their jobs, lost their businesses. I feel like if I can give away even a little bit to help somebody out there out, then wonderful, because really all it's doing is sitting here, piling up, getting dusty, and waiting for someone to come along and use it. So I've already donated about 3 boxes of maternity clothes, and I've given my sister pretty much all of my baby stuff. I still have some more stuff here and there. I also have a crib, like just the outsides of the crib, to give away, no crib mattress, so I'm going to be donating that hopefully within the next couple of weeks. The rest of it is waiting for some family members to move. They're planning to move, and they want to take some of my stuff, like the wall unit and the TV and that kind of stuff. So I can't really donate it or sell it. I want to hold it for them because they need it. So one day all these boxes that are surrounding me and the shelves and the wall unit, the old furniture, all of that's going to be gone, and I'm actually quite excited. Now the other thing my husband said is this wall behind me, the whole room is this, like the panel, right? The drywall. So he is going to be filling all of the cracks, and then we're going to paint. Now he suggested that I can paint like a mural or something, writing related, or maybe I can paint like my Alganthus forest or something. I'm kind of excited, but at the same time, it's been a long time since I've painted and been really creative and, with visual arts. I've been into, oil paintings, acrylic paintings. I used to sell prints when I was younger, but I haven't painted in so long, everything kind of gets put on hold. When you have your family and you get out in the world and you have a full-time job, things kind of change and don't go the way you expect, which I'm not complaining. I'm just saying that that's a fact. So I've put a lot of my creativity aside. Writing has been the one thing that I've dove back into, right? And I love it. So I'm going to keep going with it. So the intent with this office is, yes, get the cracks filled with plaster, do a base coat, and then possibly paint some designs or some murals, move my writing desk in here, set up a corner to do all my video recording, and that way I'm still on the same floor as everybody else when they're playing their video games and that, and I can close the door for some quiet. So I'm really excited about this. Okay, so the heater's kicked in. I am going to, get off the floor here, and we'll see you in a couple minutes where I give you another little update on where I'm at. Hi, I'm back. Same day. Actually, I didn't give you the date, did I? Today is Wednesday, February the 3rd, 2021. Behind me is my writing desk. This is my writing desk. Now, I purchased this desk from my workplace. We were doing some renovations and they were getting rid of some of the desks. This desk is actually quite costly to buy new, but I got a very good deal because I work there. So this is where I do a lot of my video recordings. I'm currently using my phone. I normally use my high-def webcam, but to do this, my phone is a lot more portable, so this is wonderful. The only writing that I really do here is like my editing process, and also I do a lot of my budgeting book work. I'm working on something that I call the Nerdalific Auto Budget, and I have another channel called Nerdalific where I do a lot of like Excel tutorials, software tutorials. Again, I do plan to, as time goes on, do things like ProWritingAid and Scrivener and stuff like that on that channel as well. So if you're interested in that in the future, please stop by the Nerdalific channel. I will leave the link in the description below. So the Nerdalific Auto Budget is something that I've been working on for a very long time. It's basically pulling together the information on how to review your historical information on your spending habits, how to make some changes, and how to use Excel to create your own personal budget. In addition to that, it also will discuss how to set up automatic and recurring payments and how to set up multiple accounts to save all the money that you need for each type of bill to make sure that you have it when you actually need it. So this is coming out, I'm hoping, in the spring of 2021. That is my goal. Originally, I thought end of January, but then I just realized, you know what, this is so unrealistic. I'm putting too much pressure on myself. I need to give myself the time to get the project done accurately and to the best, quality that I can get it at. In addition to that, one of my goals this year is to really make a better plan. I'm going to lay out my entire world of Elganthus, my high fantasy world, and I'm going to start really plotting out which book is going to be where, because there's a lot of books in my head. I've got a buttload of books planned. I currently have a few of the Elganthus novels written in rough draft, but I'm at that point where I'm really realizing how far I've grown with my writing quality and my experience and my skills. So I'm almost at the point where I want to archive all of them, like archive all the novels that I've fully written. Oh, that's hard to say that. And start from scratch and use those as a guide as to what my original plan was. That way I don't have to think too much about the storyline itself, but I really need to make my writing better quality. And I think there's just going to be too much work editing wise to sit there and nitpick every single scene. It's like reworking everything. So I feel like I just want to start fresh and write to my current skill level rather than the skill level that I had, 5 to 10 years ago. I do have another book that I'm working on, and it is called Living Undiagnosed. Now, I know you might have seen, I have another playlist in this channel where I share my health condition, my concerns, all the test results I've been through, and the fact that I'm still working away at it. Now, I know that some of this stuff maybe could have gone on a different channel, but I'm turning it into a book. So to me, it really it fit in on this channel. So I've already started it. The problem with writing this is it's so emotional. It's like reliving everything that I've gone through in the last almost 12 years. So, but I want to put all of that emotion into the story so that I can really share how I felt in all of these difficult times, because it was really difficult. It's still difficult. I'm not done my journey yet. And we'll also be releasing another video, which I'm going to be recording hopefully today or within the next week, on the update of my medical condition and where I'm at now. It has been very difficult. So I know that the book that I'm writing is going to be excruciatingly difficult and emotional and exhausting. I've done little bits here and there. I've restarted it 3 or 4 times just because I want it to be the best that I can make it. I've also made some decisions about NaNoWriMo. Now, NaNoWriMo for me has been wonderful. It's really pushed my abilities. So it's teaching me about myself and teaching me that I have what it takes to write a novel and to get that word count in. But the quality of writing isn't as good as it could be if I didn't do it in such a rush. I think I'm going to change the way I handle Nano. I enjoy publishing short story ebooks, and I find it smooth and fast and somewhat easy. easy for me. It allows me to feel like I've accomplished something in a shorter period of time, which helps encourage me to keep going on this path. So, of course, I am going to keep doing that. So Nano for me, I'm going to change it to writing short stories during Nano rather than pushing myself to write a novel. I think that the editing process is going to be smoother on a shorter story, so that if the quality of my writing isn't as good as what it would be not writing in Nano, then at least I have a shorter story to do the thorough editing for, if that makes any sense. It makes sense to me. I don't know if it makes sense to you. Okay, so one thing that I've accomplished in the last couple of weeks is making myself an AuthorTube schedule. I have this notebook now. This is like my to-do list. This was a gift to me from a very special writing friend, Story Tyrant. She has a channel on YouTube now, and she's just getting going, so check her out. If I open this up and I look inside, I got a buttload of sticky notes, which is freaking cool, and I've got a pad of paper. I've already kind of got some notes here. So I have like specific dates. This is the type of video I need to get done by this specific date, and this is kind of the topic. My plan. The first Saturday of every month is going to be the AuthorTube of the month, where I celebrate a newer or smaller AuthorTube channel. Hopefully get them some more views and subscribers by suggesting them to my viewers. I also want to give them a gift. Again, I'm just starting out with a short ebook, something that I've published. I'm hoping to sweeten that offer a little bit further down the road once I have, some more author income. And the second Saturday of every month is going to be something software related, whether it be ProWritingAid or Scrivener, or, doing things like buy me a coffee. Anything that is software or program related that can support your author business, that's going to be the second Saturday of every month. The third Saturday of every month is going to be anything writing related, whether it be suggestions for your AuthorTube video creation, or it could be writing process related. Basically anything, any kind of tips or hints or tricks or my experience, that kind of stuff that can help you with your writing, possibly, I hope. Then the fourth Saturday of every month, I'm going to do the Talk with Tania video, which that's what this is, where I share with you kind of where I'm at with my writing process, what my plans are, and my experiences, that kind of stuff. Coming soon. I'm also looking into starting a podcast. I've been researching for about a month. I'm not there yet. I'm looking at what hosts there are, how their structures work, what the best option is for me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to record a video where I show you what I've learned about what the podcast hosts are. That's really hard to say, and I'm not sure why. Podcast hosts. And then I'm going to share with you which host I've gone with. One thing that maybe you can help me with, for those of you who have made it through the video this far, I'm trying to decide whether or not I should share my podcast on this channel and just have kind of a video background or a static picture, or if I should create a separate channel just for my podcasts. I'm leaning towards the latter because I've seen other creators who have two channels, one for their actual video content and another channel specific for their podcast, because not everybody on your video channel is going to want to sit there and listen to you talk while you don't have a video in the background. I don't want to make the podcast too challenging for me. I found a way to record on my phone in the comfort of my own room, and that way I'm not spending too much more time, because I'm already putting so much time into my AuthorTube channel and I'm enjoying it, but it's also taking time away from my writing, from my family, and from, well, everything else in my life. So I want to limit it to 4 videos a month. And then the podcast, I'm probably going to do bi-weekly, so I'm not putting too much pressure on myself, like every second Tuesday. And again, I want to be able to upload it directly from the podcast host to my YouTube channel. So that's why I was leaning towards a separate YouTube channel, because again, it's going to be a static picture. But again, if you think that I should keep my podcast on this channel as well, then please let me know. I'm kind of still mixed about it, but again, I'm leaning towards a separate channel for my podcast. So what is this podcast going to be about? All right, my podcast is going to be geared towards supporting other writers, and part of that is going to be sharing everything that I've experienced and learned, the emotional ups and downs. I'm also going to include some sort of like a creativity prompt, whether it be a writing prompt or a scene to kind of get your imagination going. I'm not going to do a very detailed 1.5 hour long podcast like, Joanna Penn does. I think she's wonderful, but that's too much for me. I'm not going to be keeping up with the news of the publishing world or, bringing in people to interview, at least not right at the beginning. So I'm thinking I'm going to keep it probably between 15 to 30 minutes at the most. 15 to 30 minute recordings every second week. And that way it's not too much for me. It's not too much time with the editing. And I can just do it randomly whenever I'm able to, even though I'm in bed. Like my kids could be sleeping and I could be sitting there recording a podcast. So that's what I want. I want something that's easier for me. So if you're interested more about this podcast, just let me know. Again, I will be doing a video recording soon, sharing with you what I have learned about different podcast hosts and how things kind of work for a podcast. All right, so I'm going to end this portion of the video for today. I'll record probably another couple of days here and there and kind of mash it together. If you haven't seen Scarlett Cole's channel, I kind of learned this idea from her, and I think it's absolutely great. And it kind of gives you an overview of everything that I'm doing with my writing. So I hope that this interests you, and we'll try it out. It'll probably be coming out in the end of February. If you like this kind of thought process and how I'm doing this video, that's wonderful. And if not, then I'll change it going forward. But anyways, stay tuned for the next day. Hey there, I am back, and today is Saturday, February the 6th. Now, Saturday to me means Saturday Night Writes, where a group of writing friends get together and we discuss writing process on Skype. All 4 of us are located very close together locally, and we have an editor and a script writer, and then 2 of us are into fiction writing, genre writing, of course. One of these writers is Story Tyrant. I've mentioned her a few times. She joins me on Sundays for our live stream writing sessions, and she's also my mentor, so check out her channel, Story Tyrant. Since the beginning of 2021, I haven't put a lot of words down on paper, and I've been really getting the writing itch. One of the main reasons is I've been working ahead on my YouTube recordings so that I'm ready in advance. And secondly, I've been working on my auto budget book, Nerdalyfic's Auto Budget, which I've talked about a lot on the live streams and that. And I've also been working on my Nerdalyfic channel because in order to do my auto budget ebook, I also need to do video tutorials for Excel. Basically, it's about personal budgeting in Excel. I've talked about it before, you don't want to hear it again. So last night I was so tired that I crashed at 8 o'clock at night before my kids and my husband. Yes, I know, crazy. So then this morning, of course, I woke up at 3:30 thanks to my bladder, and I couldn't get back to sleep. So by 4:30, I'm like, this is the best time to really write. So I went downstairs, the family's still sleeping, and I actually wrote 1,500 words of a brand new short story. This is for my author name that I never will share with people because it's erotica. Now, I haven't actually gotten into the, into the sex scenes yet, but I have written 1,500 words as kind of like the opening, the intro, and just getting into the, the character's mind a little bit. Anyways, it felt really good to just write and not worry about editing or planning or, who's around or anything like that. I could just get some words down on paper, and it was great. So then I went over to Scarlett Cole's channel and I checked out her writing sprints. I wasn't able to stay for long because I made a promise to my family to do some board game time. So we played the Game of Life. Now, funny story about the Game of Life. Do you know who Sam Heughan is? Jamie Fraser on Outlander. Anyways, I had my little car and apparently I got married in the Game of Life. And so everyone's like, my kids, my husband, they're like, well, what's your husband's name? And I said, well, his name is Sam. He is Sam Heughan from Outlander. So something happened and my husband dropped onto the table, and my son put him in the back seat, and my husband laughed and says, "Yes, Jamie should be in the back seat because I don't want you with him." So then I ended up with this. There's my dog walking around. So then I ended up walking around. Then I ended up driving my little car around on the board with my husband in the back seat. And the funniest part is, no matter how hard I tried, I could not land on a have a baby space, which was completely ironic because my husband was in the far back of the car. So then after a while, I'm like, you know what? I can't do this anymore. Jamie's gonna sit right beside me. So then I moved his little peg up to the front, and guess what? I landed on a baby space. It's pretty ironic, isn't it? All right, so my plan for tonight is within the next hour, I'm going to be jumping on to our writing session, our Saturday night writes. One day we are planning to film this once we can get back out into the public and, you know, sit down at a restaurant. We've already gotten permission from the restaurant to do the filming. And then first thing tomorrow morning, I'm going to get up, get ready, and jump onto my live writing sprint session. I'm hoping to see some of you there, and if not, that's okay. I know people are in different time zones, different schedules. No pressure whatsoever, but if you ever want to come back on and check out my live stream writing sprints, I'll leave them up there afterwards, so you can always rewatch and kind of see what the process is and how our discussions go. Some of our discussions are quite interesting. Actually, there was one last weekend, somebody was asking about an opening for their story, and I had to stop reading it out loud because it was inappropriate for my kids to hear, but it didn't bother me reading it, of course. Anyways, you should check that out. All right, on to the next day. Hey, it's me again, and today is Wednesday, February 10th, I believe. So on the weekend, I decided it was time to pull together all of my red crime thriller stories. There's 5 short stories, to pull them all together and release them in one ebook. I'm not sure yet if I'm going to do a print book. It turned out to be about 55,000 words approximately. So I designed the ebook cover, and I used Corel Paint Shop Pro Ultimate 2021. Then I went and got my ISBN number online, which is free in Canada. I put all of my stories together. And then I put all of my stories together. I played with the formatting. One thing that I wasn't entirely sure of is whether or not I should include the book covers to divide each story like the original. And I decided to go ahead and do that. So each story is separated by the original cover that I released. I was going to do another thorough edit, but then I thought, you know what, I don't want to put too much time into this because I've already put a lot of time into those ebooks. I already have them edited, gone through ProWritingAid. I did everything that I possibly could to make it as best as I could, and I had some people reading it. They've been out there for a while now, so I decided just to bring them all together as is in the original state that they were published in and release it all as one collection. Now, in addition to this, I also decided, after watching one of Dale L. Roberts', Self-Publishing with Dale's videos about Kindle Select, I decided I'm going to give it another shot. So a while ago, I had tried Kindle Select for my high fantasy story and also with my self-publishing guide, and I didn't do very well at all. I didn't have any reads. There was zero interest whatsoever. But as I was watching Dale's videos, I learned, it works a lot better if you actually do an Amazon advertising campaign at the same time. Now, I do have all of my red crime thriller short stories on an advertising campaign already. It did help me get a few sales. It really did help, but again, those were not on Kindle Select. So this one, I did it. I got it all formatted. I converted it using the Kindle Create program, and I published it. And then I signed up for Kindle Select. And as soon as I had it up there and it was in the processing state, I also went to the Amazon advertising campaign website and I created a campaign. Now this time I only did Canada and US to start. The other short story ebooks on their own have campaigns in everywhere possible. That anywhere that Amazon advertising is possible, I have campaigns set up for those. But to start, I want to do Canada and US. I feel like I get more sales from Canada and US. I also get sales in Australia, which is absolutely wonderful. So if these go well and I start getting some page reads or some purchases, then I am also going to go back and set up more advertising campaigns. But I think it makes more sense for me to start in Canada and US first. and see if it makes any kind of difference to the Kindle Unlimited program. Another goal that I have is to set up this perma-free book. Now, I don't know if you've seen this. I did a review on this already, but this is the perma-free book by Dale L. Roberts, and it explains what the benefits are of having one of your ebooks permanently free. So I'm going to try that as well. I will probably do a video about that once I get it all set up. But basically, you set up a free ebook on one platform that allows it, and then you can go back and you can contact Amazon and say, hey, I've offered this ebook for free on all these other platforms. Can you make mine free too, please? And they don't like doing that, of course, but they like to price match. So if you're offering a free book somewhere, you can also make it free on Amazon by actually talking to them. There's more to it than that, so if you're curious, check out Dale's book and you'll learn a little bit more about it. So that is my goal. It was something that I considered a goal for the new year, and I haven't gotten to it yet. I have a lot of other things I want to do. I also want to get to, I believe it's MailChimp, and I want to set up my very first newsletter list. So I'll probably also do a video about that. I like sharing, the different processes and steps that I'm going through. I also released a video this month about Buy Me a Coffee website, so you'll find that on my channel. The video goes through the entire process that I went through to learn how to set up an account with Buy Me a Coffee. And of course I changed the words to Buy Me a Tea because I don't drink coffee. Coffee and I just do not get along. I also had to make some decisions about my AuthorTube channel. I have been doing book reviews for Dale L. Roberts to support his channel and also hopefully support my viewers, which is you, to find something else to help you with your self-publishing journey, if you're going that route, of course. So then I had another AuthorTuber or somebody on the AuthorTube community reach out to me and ask to do a review on my channel of their ebook. So I thought about it and I thought, I'm not a booktube channel and I don't really have any intention of doing book reviews on a regular basis, but I thought, let's just try this, we'll check it out. And I did like the book and I have absolutely nothing negative to say, but I just felt like it wasn't right for my channel. I reached back out to him on Facebook Messenger and I just let him know that I really enjoyed it. Unfortunately, I think I'm going to lean more towards doing reviews on books that help support other authors and writers. And then I also went on Goodreads and I left him a review there to also support him. I think that that's the best route to go for me. I want to support writers and author tubers and self-published authors. And I felt it was time to make a decision. I don't want to do a whole lot of book reviews on my channel. I don't mind doing the occasional one. So if you do have a book that you would like me to review, if it's regarding supporting authors or writers or, the self-publishing business, anything like that, I am willing to do a review on those, so you're welcome to send me a copy. If you're looking for a review on Goodreads, then you're also welcome to send me any other copy of an indie ebook or physical book. I really don't mind doing that. I love reading indie author books and supporting other indie authors like yourself. And of course, I will support you by doing a review on Goodreads, or I'm not able to do one on Amazon. I tried that for him, but I haven't spent enough money on Amazon to have the right to do a review, and I don't understand how that works exactly yet. So I got to look into that a little bit. But I am willing to do a review on Goodreads. And again, I'm only going to do a review if it's something that will support other authors or writers. So I'm following my new AuthorTube schedule, and I think it's going well. I feel a lot more organized, and it's almost like it opens up like a buttload more time so that I can work on writing, and I feel a little bit less bogged down now that I have a schedule, so that I can actually get some writing time in, because that's the downside when you're trying to, batch film and batch edit and release a whole bunch of content at once so that, you can free up time for writing, but it also takes so much time to do that. So I had this writing itch and I was getting frustrated because, I love putting out content and videos and supporting other writers and learning about, everyone else's process and writing together on the live streams. I enjoy doing this, but at the same time, I have to make time for my writing because, well, that's what I do. So now that I'm more organized, I feel a lot better. So that's a lot of goals. I've got the office to get ready. I've got the podcast to get going. I've got my schedule to keep up with, the perma-free ebook, and the newsletter. Now this isn't all gonna happen in 1 month. So by the end of March, and you're looking for that video to see if I've gotten it all done, I really doubt it. Especially if I'm trying to keep up with the live streams on 9 a.m. Sundays and get some writing in. I have the auto budget book to get out, my Nerdalific channel to maintain. It does sound like a lot, but I feel like if you're organized and you have a schedule and you have like a checklist, then you have a better opportunity of getting it all accomplished. It also takes some weight off your mind. I'm really enjoying the process of making this list and have something to reference, because if you don't make that list, it's like your brain is in like panic mode. It's like going through the list over and over again. I can't forget about this, I can't forget about that. And it just doesn't work. It just causes more stress and anxiety, and I just don't want to do it. Now, the other list that I had made that I actually kind of ignored was I made a list of what I was supposed to do to keep up with my author business data. So things like keeping up with my website, keeping up with my sales data and documenting it. I document everything. I want to know how many sales I get per book, per month, how much sales profit that is, or royalties. And then I also want to document how much royalties come into my account, because there's a difference, right? There's like a waiting period. So although you've got your royalties sitting there in a pile waiting for you on the website, it's not in your bank account yet. So there's 2 different ways of documenting it. It's like, here's how much I've sold, here's the royalty rate. Okay, but it's not in my account, so it's not going on this spreadsheet until it's in my account. And one day I'll probably do a video about how I track all of this data in Excel. And I still, of course, want to go back and do the ProWritingAid and Scrivener tutorials. I'm on the fence as to which channel I'm going to put it on, because Nerdalific, that channel is intended specifically for software tutorials. So I'm thinking that it might be best if I put all of that data over on that channel, and then send people from this channel over to that channel, and that way I can kind of differentiate between the writing content and the software content. I'm interested in knowing what your thoughts are on this, so if you wouldn't mind just leaving me a comment below. Let me know whether you think it should be on this channel, or if you're okay with going over to the Nerdalific channel to see that content. So I really appreciate your support in all of this and all of the changes, and I really appreciate your opinion on anything that I ever ask you, because I am here for you, not just for myself. Yes, I enjoy doing this, and I think maybe one day it might actually turn into another income stream, which would be absolutely wonderful. But if you would like to support me, please go ahead and hit the like button. Also, if you're interested in buying me a tea, I have left the link for the Buy Me a Coffee website below. So have a great rest of your day, afternoon, evening, night, or whatever, and we'll see you soon.